Finally, we are here to discuss the last episode of 1923 Season 1 with you. It's not been a long journey, but it's been a satisfactory one for sure. From beginning to end, we witnessed multiple characters' entire lives being transformed. It was like glimpsing into the life of someone, which is totally magical. That being said, we have to admit that our expectations from Season 1's ending were way higher than what we eventually got, which caused somewhat of a disappointment on our part. Why? Well, to understand our frustration with the season ending, let's go through the major scenes that shaped the final episode. First of all, we watched Teonna meeting with her father. Once again, she got the feeling of being saved. However, she is no longer being fooled by such feelings, as she knows very well that things can completely change in a second. Still, despite everything she's gone through, Teonna is a teenage girl in her heart and couldn't help but to fall in love with Pete, the son of her late protector. Well, although we cannot deny the appeal of young love, we found the entire establishment of such a love story a bit silly and too simple. As you all know, we have already predicted in our previous videos that these two will fall in love, so it wasn't a surprise. However, we were expecting the love story to be a bit more slow burn than an instant one. In one scene, we watched them getting introduced to one another. In the next scene, they were already holding hands and Teonna's father was warning them about falling in love. Does this make sense to you? Because it doesn't to us. In response to her father, Teonna said she has only this moment and she will live it as she wishes. This is an understandable response since, as we mentioned before, know that things can change in an instant second. So we sympathize with this type of carpe diem attitude. Still, we don't believe for a second that they fell in love in those circumstances. Pete didn't even mourn for his late father. He wasn't even shocked to see his dead body. Apparently, all he wanted in this life was to find a girl and fall in love with her immediately. Well, that's just stupid. While they were busy forcing themselves to fall in love because there were no other boys and girls around them, the evil priest and the state officers were tracing them, finding the bodies they left behind. At the end of the episode, both parties headed toward Wyoming through their separate ways, only to meet again in Season 2. To be honest, we were hoping Teonna's storyline to cross paths with the Duttons. We are a bit disappointed that we will continue to watch her running away in Season 2 as well, instead of being a part of the main plot. But you will see in a second that this was the common theme of the entire episode 8 of 1923. At one point, we also watched a couple in an interracial marriage being assaulted by state officers. We have no idea who they are and how their story will be linked to the rest of the plot. But we started to think that the entire Teonna storyline is acting like a separate TV show rather than having a purpose in the main storyline. It may have a link to the events in Montana, but might be there solely for the purpose of shedding a light on the historical abuses against the Native Americans in the region. In Montana, things got heated as Banner got released from prison way too easily, and Duttons couldn't believe their eyes. Then we watched Don, aka the pervert businessman, lecturing Banner on how to take over Yellowstone, think like a businessman, and turn everything into money through a series of heartless decisions. Learning about the financial problems of the Duttons, Don didn't lose any time putting his plan into action. He paid the debt of the Duttons, and by doing so, he automatically made Duttons owe to himself. It was horrible news to the Duttons, as they would be forced to give up on their ranch unless they managed to pay their debt to him by the end of the year. They are already troubled since Elizabeth has lost her baby on top of everything else that the family has gone through over the past few months. So naturally, the news of Don devastated them. The entire theme of Don being a heartless businessman whose only wish is to make money regardless of the cost is very powerful, as we feel like he is representing the true face of the glamorized American capitalist. Thus, we truly care about the Dutton family's struggle. At the end of the scene, once again, we watch Kara begging for Spencer to return in a hurry, as he is their only hope. The only thing that we don't understand is how Spencer will be helpful to the family once he returns. What can he do in such a situation? He doesn't have that much money. He certainly cannot kill everyone. He cannot be a state official on short notice, so he wouldn't have any political power either. So we're not sure what kind of an impact Kara is expecting Spencer to have. But we are willing to watch it in Season 2. Speaking of Spencer, it feels like he is born on a doomed day as he cannot stay away from trouble for a single second. As you all remember, we have predicted in our previous videos that Alexandra will leave Spencer now that she saw her ex-fiancé. Well, the couple got separated for sure, but things happened the other way around. Spencer has eventually been the one that left Alexandra as he was forced to do it. Basically, Alexandra's ex-fiancé forced Spencer to fight against him, and quickly the fight took a highly violent turn. Eventually, Spencer lost himself and throws Arthur from the ship to the ocean. It was a shocking moment for sure to see how easily a man can be killed just like that. In our opinion, it also showed that Spencer is a good man but not a man to be around. He is too emotionless when he is confronting someone, which is quite scary. That being said, Alexandra is completely on opposite terms with us on the issue. It seems like she had no problem with Spencer killing her ex. Instead, she was willing to do anything to save Spencer from prison. In the end, Spencer managed to avoid being charged with manslaughter. Even a strong man like the Earl of Sussex couldn't manage to imprison him. However, he managed to send Spencer away from the ship, making sure he is separated from Alexandra. It looks like their marriage does not mean anything on British soil, which is odd, but it's also concerning because now Spencer will have to find another way to Montana while Alexandra is attempting to find a ship from London to the US. The couple has promised to meet one another in Bozeman, Montana, meaning that in second season we will watch their journeys separately, which will be fun. And yet we can't help but wonder how many seasons Taylor Sheridan is planning for 1923 to have. Because let's be honest, if they continue to proceed with this pacing, it would take for Spencer to reach Montana like 2 to 3 years. And despite loving to watch Spencer, we believe watching him going through one trouble after another is getting a little bit tiring for the audience. Thus, we are not sure if the second season of the series will be as appealing as the first one. What are your thoughts on the season ending of 1923? Did it satisfy your expectations? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.